Stars. Your boy Katt Williams in that interview on Club Shay Shay has all of these comedy ninjas shook. They are scrambling to serve their masters, the people who ensure that they have a career no matter what they look like, no matter what kind of chops they have as a stand up, a funny actor, or as a writer, even if none of those skills even exist. This is a fine example of what does the critique devolve to? Calling Katt Williams a chimp? And we know what this is about. We know this is Latino anti-blackness. We saw it with Erica Mena. We saw it with Evelyn Lozado. The first place they go when they have conflict with an African American, foundational Black American person is monkey, chimp, ape, all of that sort of stuff, where it's like, are you forgetting a little bit of something about your own heritage? Are you under the impression that because you speak Spanish that you're not of African descent and those slurs don't kind of turn against you? Is that the level of your delusion, or is it just laziness? You had nothing else to say. Stooping to a slur, an anti-black slur, to get what? A laugh? Did it work? I don't think it did. Just to what? You think you're going to actually insult somebody who did nothing but spit fire hot facts? The whole internet is reeling. I haven't gotten through the whole internet interview, but I have seen the clips, and I have yet to see one that hasn't been backed up by other comedians, actual clips of stand-up or of sitcoms where jokes were lifted, etc. And the only thing that makes me sad is the kind of stereotypical nature of some of the roles, just like the Hollywood Shuffle, Robert Townsend, right? Like there are all these stereotypical roles like PIMP and, COON and things that make, just that heartbreaking clip of Steve Harvey talking about for the right price, he will be your, unfortunately the same thing that Faizon made the slur about. And I get it, and those were also different times. I mean, there was a time when the Jeffersons and Archie Bunker and shows of that sort on television actually used the N-word. And to see Faizon slip very easily from chimp to the N-word when you've already distinguished yourself from Black Americans by saying, oh, I can call this Black man a chimp over and over and over again, and then feel like, oh, I landed something of value. I did my part to your masters. I mean, I think the most heartbreaking thing is if you actually look up Faizon Love, which is his stage name, Faizon's his middle name, if you actually look him up and see the number of assault charges for DV and assault in the airport and this and that, it's mind-boggling that, in a world where certain celebrities are canceled for a single incident of DV or assault, here's someone who it is a very light Google search, and it just blows your mind. Like, how is this person still working on set, working around people who have no idea, just like I had no idea that was actually on the resume, right? That should be front and center when you are, working in close proximity with people or thinking about them being a funny guy, an aspirational person, somebody who should be, taking one of the few roles that there are for Black men in movies or on television, but as we know, there's a lot more factors that go into getting those jobs than just being talented or someone who should be lifted up and held up as an example of anything. But, you know, if Erica Mena got canceled for being anti-Black and calling her coworker a monkey, and we see Evelyn Lozada and other, you know, in Los Angeles, several city council members referred to another council member's adopted son as a monkey, and proceeded to talk about how ugly and kind of undesirable indigenous descent Mexicans and Latinos are, right? Anti-Blackness, anti-indigeneity, but yet the speaker of the monkey chimp slurs always wants to be seen as a cut above. Oh, you know, one of my Cuban colleagues who is a very, very pro 45 and anti-Black, you know, always wants to tell me that he's, you know, skin tone wise Blacker than I am, but has the most horrendous things to say about dirty people from south of the border, filthy people who are of African descent, on and on and on. And it's again, it's this weird, like, do you not acknowledge that you're a person of African descent? Do you not acknowledge that in America you're Black too? That in your kind of Hispanic, Latino, you know, whatever Latin American world, skin tone and being of African descent has often been an excuse to exploit, enslave, and do worse to people. But in 2024, we're just days into the year to stoop to anti-Blackness to try to get one up on the very brilliant Katt Williams, who was very brave to lay bare some of the misbehavior that has gone on in the Black comedy community. I'm certainly scratching my head about people who, you know, wear the crown and kind of, you know, are very successful, but may not have the goods. And to see on the spot that you can't come up with something more clever, more insightful, more factual than calling Katt Williams a chimp, I'm embarrassed for you. You know, I dare say Black card revoked. But I'll be curious to hear what other people have to say about this little clip of what Faizon Love had to say about Katt Williams and his interview with Shannon Sharpe.
Chimp Williams. Chimp Williams. It's hard to address lunacy and hypocrisy and downright ignorance. But it's so funny how many people think this dumb, stupid mother is spitting truth. But that's the internet, I guess. You guys want to believe in something so bad. I guess you left God and now you believe in chimps like this nigga who's an actual chimp, and you're not listening to what he's saying. He's actually calling for help. None of the he says lines up with nothing. He runs a Fort something sub. This is where he